Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. I am the Twisted Jedi, and today we're going to be discussing 5 things that I think need to be fixed for Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now, there's a whole bunch of things that probably do need fixing in terms of bugs and gameplay issues, but I just want to do 5 because I really want to do this in a series, and this is going to give me time to do it and make sure these videos don't drag out too long. So some of the things in this list are my own personal opinion and things that really frustrate me with the game, and a few of them have been mentioned by you guys as well, so it's going to be a combination of the two. This video series is going to be similar to 5 things I want to be added into Battlefront 2, except this is going to be 5 things I want to be fixed. So I'm planning on turning it into a series, so make sure if you guys have suggestions on what you want fixed in the game, or something that could possibly be a pressing issue, make sure you guys drop that down in the comments section below. Anyways, the first thing I want to start off by talking about are the doors closing behind players. So I'm sure most of you that have played the game for a while have had this happen to you at least once, where an enemy infantry player has tried to bait you into coming through a door that is out of bounds. I've had it happen multiple times playing Luke or Obi-Wan or Rey, where you dash through the door and then it closes behind you. You're then stuck out of bounds, trapped, and instant death after the 10 seconds. So there's no way of getting back through those doors, and I think the main one that I've had issues with is the Death Star 2. That map is just a big old trap for heroes, and it can be really frustrating sometimes. I've had Luke and Rey as well as Obi-Wan where I've used their dash abilities, and then you go through the door by accident and you just end up trapped out there and can't get back through, whereas some of the other doors on different maps open back up for you so you can get back out. I think they need to really make up their mind and just make sure all the doors open back up and make it so that heroes aren't getting stuck outside the out of bounds area. Another thing to add on to this is on Naboo, when you're going from the 2nd to the 3rd phase heading up into the throne room, when the timer starts to head back into the 3rd phase, you get 30 seconds. The doors don't open until you're at about 12 seconds left, so you've got 18 seconds trapped inside that 2nd phase before you can get through the doors to get back up into the throne room. This leaves you extremely vulnerable to large groups of enemies charging in and attacking you, and I've found myself dying a lot of times to this issue. I think the doors need to open right away for the defending team, and if any attacking players get through, then they should have the out of bounds timer start as well, and that should be the way to handle it. I think it's very frustrating being stuck there when you have a group of enemies pushing forward. You should be able to get through right away. So that brings me to the end of point number 1. Point number 2 I want to talk about is lightsaber hit detection. Now, this is something you might not have experienced, but I've definitely had it a lot of times. It is something that has plagued a lot of the lightsaber heroes, especially Obi-Wan and Luke, as well as Kylo Ren on the dark side. Now, this is caused not just by roly boys, which I now refer to them as those players that just roll non-stop, but it's also just an issue in general where the lightsaber strike doesn't connect. I found Kylo Ren has it sometimes, Luke definitely has it, and Obi-Wan is probably the worst for it. And I'm going to insert a clip here for you guys to watch in the background of me chasing someone across Geonosis with Obi-Wan and not being able to hit him, regardless of how close I got to him. Eventually I did get the kill, but it left me extremely vulnerable, and I probably should have died while I was chasing this droid trying to kill him. So that's number 2. I definitely think the hit detection needs to be improved. Whether that makes a larger hitbox on the enemy or something else needs to be changed there, I definitely want to see that fixed in the future. Number 3 on the list is a speeder bike nerf. Now, there's nothing more frustrating on Endor than being chased around for 10 minutes while you have a hero by a speeder bike. Now, this is something that's been abused for a long time. They nerfed the speeder bike once, but obviously it wasn't enough because there are still players who feel the need to chase around heroes with a speeder bike, and it's basically abusing the system. The speeder bikes do a lot of damage, we all know this, and this is why a lot of heroes die. Now, I've had it happen on stream and out of stream. It happens to a lot of players that I see. I think it needs a nerf even more because the damage output is obviously enough for players to keep doing this. So the nerf in the first place was to try and stop it. It didn't stop it, so I think they need to nerf it a little bit more. Getting into the 4th ability, and that is the force powers. Now, I've had countless occasions and countless people complain to me that force abilities don't work. Kylo Ren's pull doesn't work, Darth Maul's throw doesn't work, Luke's push doesn't work, Luke's repulse doesn't work, Obi-Wan's push doesn't work. The amount of force powers that have issues, Vader's choke gets stuck in an animation. So all of these force powers seem to have a lot of issues in hit detection as well, similar to the lightsaber swings I was just talking about. I think this is definitely something that needs to be fixed, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe it has been mentioned that some of them will be getting looked at in the next update. I know for a fact Vader's choke is getting worked on and should be in the next update, but as for the other ones, I'm not 100% sure. I think the most noticeable one is definitely Luke's force push. The amount of times that I've run in and tried to push someone with that, and it just doesn't work at at all is ridiculous. So that leaves you extremely vulnerable because the animation is so long, it often ends in death. So just another thing I'm hoping to see improved. Anyways, number 5 on the list and the last point that I'm going to talk about is Boba Fett. Now, you guys know that I love playing Boba. I use him all the time in the streams. I'm quite good with him, and I'm not going to say I'm great, but I'm decent enough to get a lot of kills sometimes when I'm playing him. Now, something I've seen mentioned by a lot of you guys though, and it's possibly new players as well as experienced players, is that it is very hard to aim Boba Fett's blaster. Now, this is possibly because of the reticle that is being used for his blaster. The 3 lines doesn't really give you a great sense of where to aim or how close you are to aiming for an enemy, and I think it definitely doesn't help in terms of headshots either. Now, I'm used to it because I do play him a lot, but someone who's new to the game may not have a good experience with Boba Fett if they can't aim his blaster at all. So something someone recommended to me was that they put a dot in the center of the reticle so that you know where the first blaster shot is going to fire from. This will help not only with people's aim while flying, but it's also going to help while lining up headshots and a whole bunch of other things as well. It'll also help with the rocket barrage ability and the concussion rocket, and those two things definitely need help with aiming, because if you can aim your rocket barrage well with a dot in the center of the reticle, that's going to be an absolute animal of an ability, more so than it already is now, because it's already pretty powerful. So adding a reticle dot in the center of that reticle for Boba Fett is definitely something I would like to see as well. Anyways, that's going to wrap up the 5 things that I want to see fixed in Star Wars Battlefront 2. I know it's not huge improvements, but definitely something that could help the flow of gameplay and stop the majority of players getting very frustrated with certain things in the game. I think for me, the one thing that I want on this list the most is the lightsaber hit detection. That is super frustrating playing as a lightsaber hero and not being able to hit an enemy. Now, the roll is probably the main cause of that issue, but I definitely think there's an issue without it as well. It's more than just the roll, so I hope they take a quick look at it. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Make sure you drop down in the comments below what you want to see fixed, and I will try to discuss 5 of them in the next episode. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here. Be sure to subscribe if you are new and smack that like button, turn on the notifications, and do all that good shit that you guys know how to do. As always, I appreciate you guys watching this video. I will see you in the next one, and may the force be with you always.